Hour. Hello, and welcome to the Horror Hour, the show where we discuss, debate, and disagree on all things horror. And today, because of the weekend that it is, and it is so it is a British invasion. You have the two Brits, myself, Liam, and
George. King George.
Yay! So, since Queenie's having patty dubes, we decided to watch a show about killer kids in the British countryside. What's more British?
Exactly.
Yeah, so today is going to be a half non-spoiler, half spoiler review of the Midwich Cuckoos. It is a show based on a book from 1957. You will probably be familiar with it because it has already been adapted into two films. A 1960s version called Village of the Damned, and then the 95, I believe, version as well, also called Village of the Damned. But this one is sticking more to the roots of the book and keeps its name, which is the Midwich Cuckoos. So it is set in a fictional British village.
Yes.
The town is completely subdued by an alien presence for an entire day. But upon waking, it is discovered that numerous women in the town are going to have a baby. As you can see, the babies are behind me, and they're very creepy babies. So, George.
Yes.
What is your non-spoiler thoughts on the Midwich Cuckoos?
Okay, so yeah, I didn't even know this show was coming up. That's because I didn't watch terrestrial television, so I had no idea that it was. It was only because my parents have Sky, and they were like, "Hey, there's this thing called the Midwich Cuckoos, which I think looks up your street," and I use their Sky Go. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll check it out." And so I'd said to the guys, "I think this would be interesting." So I watched the trailer, and I was really intrigued and excited by the trailer, mainly because I'm a huge fan of Keely Hawes and Max Beesley. I think they're great, and overall the trailer gave a really it was down my alley, up my alley, whatever the phrase is. We're not on it was definitely for me. So we both have binged it today. There's an FYI, just so when we talk about it, we're talking about it from a binging perspective because all of them dropped on Sky, and I believe it's currently only in the UK at the moment. I know, so I've read somewhere they are looking for a US and global thing, but right now it is just a UK production. But I really actually really enjoyed it. Like, I really did. I was surprised how much, because I thought, sometimes with these sort of like mystery things, they can get a bit boring or a bit overdone and things, but maybe because it's in that sounds so bad, but maybe because it was set in Britain and it's a British thing, like, you know, like it just like resonates with you more, you know, like I'm sure Americans when they watch all these American, I always say that about horror, like I'm like, we need more British horror and stuff like that, because it then resonates with, you know, with us more, because you can kind of imagine those places and then how we'd react. So yeah, I mean, non-spoilery, I really enjoyed it. I love the cast. I thought the story was interesting because I kind of guessed it from the trailer, because the trailer just obviously gives an overall of what is happening, but I haven't read the book, nor have I actually seen Village of the Damned, so I didn't really know the full extent.
Not shocked by that.
Yeah, I'll watch it after this, but I'd rather read the book first, I think. But I really enjoyed it, because I was like, oh, there was parts in this show that I like did go like, oh, like damn, like there were definitely parts where I was like, I didn't think they would go there, and they did. So for that, because I thought, oh, they're probably gonna do a thing where it's, you know, some shows just like dip out over the last minute, but this definitely went there at parts. So I mean, there's not much more that I can say. That I you know, the kids, from the most part, well, from nearly all of it, they did a really good job, because I know that, you know, young kid actors can you know, not always be the best, but I do think that they had a really good bunch of children here for, you know, for their characters. I don't want to give away how the story progresses, but they had a great bunch of kids there, and I think that did a really good job. Specifically, shout out to one of the children, Hannah, who is the one who is closest here with the Will Byers hairstyle, and let's just say that she really makes you want to like go through the screen and just kind of and I know we shouldn't talk about that. But she's not technically a child, guys. Okay, so it's fine. But just to say that the actress did a really good job, because I was like, this girl, she really is getting on my last wick. So overall, for me, I really enjoyed it. Non-spoilery, I thought it was great. There was probably elements that maybe could have been one episode less. I don't know, but there's nothing that honestly right now I can't think of anything that I'm like, I did not like that. So that's just me. Liam, what about you?
Good. Yes, I also very much enjoyed it. I didn't get bored at any point. I went through the whole thing. As we said, we did binge it today. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I too found that child to be so creepy. Like, I was like, this is a child actor. What the fuck is happening? Like, how is this child actor so good?
Yeah,
it freaked me the fuck out. I will also say that the older actor for this character, excellent actor as well. And I also enjoyed Hannah Toynton.
Yes, I saw it, and I was like, I was like, well, it made me laugh because I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, oh, it reminds me, I wonder if it's going to be like the 2008 movie The Children, and the next minute Hannah's face pulled, for instance, she's in that film, and I was like, oh my god, no way. She's great. I wish she'd got more work, because I really like her, and she did brilliant in this. Sorry, I'm taking your stuff.
Yeah, I liked both of them sisters. So yeah, I enjoyed her. Who was the other? I enjoyed the actress that played his mom.
Yes,
I'm not very good with names. And obviously Keely Hawes was great. It's Keely Hawes. She's great in everything. So yeah, that is I would say, yeah, it was well paced. It come across well written. So I fully enjoyed just like the whole setup.
I think the one thing I would say, maybe, I mean, I didn't mind it, but I do think I wouldn't say it's a binging show. I don't think.
I think you've got to be a specific kind of person to enjoy this as a binging show.
Yeah,
like I enjoyed it as a binge.
I did towards the end.
But I could agree. I could see.
There was parts in the middle, where I thought, oh, maybe you could do, so if you're someone who doesn't normally binge, we said I would maybe do this 2 episodes at a time or something, I think would be a good point. I mean, they pretty much all leave you on like a cliffhanger of some sort. You're like, oh my god, I want to get to the next episode, don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But then I think there's like not heavy topics, but there's just a lot going on. I think sometimes you need like a second to digest like stuff that's happening, and so I think that would be for me. But I mean, I binged it and I enjoyed it, but there was a part where I thought maybe some people might prefer. Some people do. Like my parents will watch this over the course of a year, probably, because they just can't binge shows at all. They're like, I don't know how you do it. So if you're one of those people, you'll enjoy this just as much as somebody who does binge it, I would say. So don't worry. Feel like you have to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we have given our non-spoiler thoughts. So everyone watching, if you haven't watched, click off here now, go away, go watch it, and then come back, and we're now going to discuss spoilers.
Yeah.
So you have been warned. If you're not out of here by the time I finish this sentence, you're fucked. You're going to find out spoilers. So, George, spoilers. What did you enjoy? What stood out for you that you would think would be classed as a spoiler?
I mean, there is the one thing that I think there's so many different elements, but we're talking like the moment I said earlier that there was parts where I didn't think they were going to go there specifically was Panatoita's death scene, where I was like, I thought, so they're going to drive into the skip. And then they were like, no, we're going to drive her face through this pole. And I was like, and then they like turned the camera around and you like saw, and I was like, oh, damn. And then they had this little kid just covered in blood. And I was like, I did not expect them to go there with that. And I also actually didn't expect them when they killed, was it Joe the kid or Nick? the young boy who the kid that got shot by
Joe,
that was it. Yeah. I didn't think they would do that, and I was like quite shocked when that happened, and then he just started going around shooting everybody. But I think for me, I thought that there's not like a multitude. This isn't like a slasher thing in any means, but the couple of kills that were in it, I thought I did like go, whoa, like for those parts. I don't know about you. That was something that stood out to me. And also the death of oh my God, I can't remember her name now, but the girl's mother to your left, with the black hair. When they found her body in like the freezer, I was like, woof, that was I was like, damn, that was deep freezer. But again, I thought there was some really good, like gruesome or just like, ooh, like deaths in this. And I said, because there was only a couple of them, it made them feel like more like, ooh, because it wasn't like constant, like they weren't killing people left, right, and center. Oh, and let's talk about the fucking dog. Because I was like, as soon as I saw them moving stuff in the water, I saw the grey, and I literally said out loud to myself, if that's the dog. And then not only are they like, yeah, it's the dog, then they fucking bring it out and then do a full zoom in on the dog. And I was like, I do not need to see this. And then that was when I was like, that was when Hannah for me was totally dead as a character. I was like, bitch, I hope you choke. I
know.
Because she
clearly did that to the dog, and she was an arsehole for it. She was like, oh, we didn't do it. We didn't hurt the dog. Oh, well, you fucking did, you little bastard brat.
Yeah. So yeah, those some standouts for me, I think, was to do with like the death scenes, and just the story in general, I think was really good. I liked the ending, because I did think, I was like, oh, is this going to be like a second series sort of thing? But I think it ended well enough that I wasn't. And there was a part where I thought, oh, maybe there could have been a little bit more towards the end, like after the explosion happened and they all died. I thought maybe there could have been another scene, like, you know, maybe we saw Max Beasley's character like go back to and like collect the son, and I thought like maybe there could have been something there. So, but I wasn't like, oh, that was I wanted more. I just thought if they could have added like another scene after that. And I also thought as well at one point that when Hannah's parents were standing and looking at the thing, because they zoomed in on the daughter, I thought I was her eyes gonna like flash, because I thought maybe like she actually was part of it, but she wasn't, so it was fine.
No,
but I will also say, spoiler, sorry, one last thing that really like I physically shouted at the camera was when the younger sister, after they were all thought they'd all forgotten, and the younger sister came out to the door and went, "Hi, Hannah," and I was like, no! I was like, oh my God, like I was literally like, oh shit.
Yeah, so, I actually shouted at the telly like, oh, for God's sake,
keep the kid in its playpen or something, because it's not, you can't, no, but it was good. And I also really enjoyed the going back to that bit. I liked it starting at the very beginning, because you were like, oh, what the hell's going on? And then telling the story.
Yeah. So, I kept on watching it going,
waiting.
When's that flashback?
Yeah.
Like, there was so many fake outs for them running away, and I was like, well, when's it happening?
Yeah.
Well, no, it can't be now, because the army isn't there.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so the army's now appearing. Well, no, because the army haven't even come into the town yet, so why what's happening?
Yeah.
And then obviously you eventually like get to it, and it's obviously the very end. Yeah, I think the whole storyline for Hannah Toyton's character is like that family. It was Sarah, Curtis, David, and Joe.
Yeah.
That whole family storyline I really enjoyed. I liked how obviously it started off with Hannah Toyton's character being meek and just wanting to like have a happy family, and then obviously growing stronger and stronger and getting rid of them, but then obviously it turning around and biting them, and leading to, as we said, spoilers, the whole family dead.
Yes.
Like, oh, it was just devastating. Yeah, like again, the same with you, where you said you got shocked with her death. I also was just like, oh God, they did that.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to make it as gruesome as they did.
Yeah.
But they fully decapitated her and showed you.
Yeah.
And then what was I did like what they did to her mother. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like really spoilery that. No, no, I would say just the main storyline. Like there was supposed to be like a thing that they'd kept you waiting for with that Keely Hall's character, where they kept on all the way through going, well, what you did with your daughter. Well, what happened with your daughter? And then you were like, can you just tell us? Can you just tell us what happened with our daughter, please? Like, stop having these conversations off screen and just tell us. And then you find out right at the end that she put her up for fostering when she was a baby.
I thought I'd missed
she had a nervous breakdown. And I was like, is that it? Like, she couldn't work with the kids because she had a nervous breakdown when she was younger.
Yeah, it was something about like that.
Clearly had postpartum depression.
Yeah, that she blamed. I know. I thought that was a bit off because they were like, because they made up like she was like, you know, the policewoman from London was like, oh, you always think the kids are negative or something, blame the kids. And so I did. Yeah. I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on. And then when they basically said that she basically had postnatal depression, I was like, that's a bit off for you to say that if she was suffering with that. And then I thought, did I miss something? I was going to ask you, but maybe I didn't. If we did,
no, you didn't miss anything.
Let me know, let us know in the console. But to me, I just thought, yeah, she had postnatal depression, she couldn't cope, so she gave the child up for a year and then brought it back. So I was a bit like, did we really need to keep going on about it? Like, I didn't even.
I was like, oh, that's a bit.
Yeah,
it's very. It's a very.
It's a touchy subject.
It's a touchy subject, and I think the way that the approached it was a very negative viewpoint. Like basically saying in later life she isn't going to be good enough at her job because she had postpartum depression. Like that's
I did, and I also really feel it didn't really affect the storyline that much. Like,
yeah,
there was an episode where she fell out with the daughter, but then they were all fine again. I mean, they'd already had a rocky relationship from the beginning by the looks of it, before the daughter even knew that. So I feel like that was if there was one thing that I would just take that out, because I feel like, for me anyway, it didn't need to be then. It didn't really affect the story anyway, apart from the fact that it made like there was a big gap when she wasn't part. So maybe that was the whole point.
All that did was it gave them an excuse to take her out of the situation for a little bit so they could do something else.
Yeah. Which, fair enough, but they could have found other ways to do that.
Yeah, I was going to say they could have found other ways. So that is the one negative I have about it.
Yeah.
And that is my spoilers. So, out of 10, what would you give it?
I think I'd probably give it like a 9. Like, I really enjoyed it. And like that maybe was a part that the extra point probably, well, I mean, the whole point wouldn't be that storyline. That would be like maybe like a quarter of a point. But I just think as well, maybe it could have been maybe one less episode. I don't know. Maybe it could have been a bit more jam-packed. But it wasn't something where I was like, oh my God, like, you know, I need to get, I'm waiting. I wasn't clock watching or anything. I just thought after it, oh, maybe, you know, and also the ending as well. I would have liked a bit more at the end, after the explosion and things. I would have liked maybe a bit more explanation of like what happened to the one survivor from the Russian experiment. Like, what did he do now? Because, you know, he just walked off. You know, what happened to Max Beasley's character? Like, did he get arrested? Did all those soldiers?
Why didn't he kill the Russian survivor?
Yeah, like, did he die? Did the you know, what happened to the army people? Did they remember? Because they were being, so there was just a couple of things, couple of unanswered questions. Nothing that I'm like, why didn't you tell me? But just on like,
there was loose ends.
Yeah, that I think they could have just been tied a little bit better. Like, we could have had another, like, you know, 1 year later thing, and it could have been like the surviving group like coming together, you know, doing a toast or something to Keely Hall's character. And I don't know, something like that could have been a thing. And then there could have been like, and then it would have been really good if at the end, like one of the lights like flickered in the house and it ended. And then you're like, oh, was it that? Or was it just a faulty light? You know, like it could have left you. Was it just loose? Like, and then the people could have been like, yeah, no, it was just a faulty light. We just thought it'd be funny. So, I don't know. That would be for me, but yeah, I'd give it a 9. What about you?
Yeah. I'm gonna go 8.5.
Okay.
Similar to yourself, but where you would like less episodes. I think the series as a whole deserves a few more episodes.
Okay.
I think it could have been stretched out to 10 quite easily. And I would have liked more exploration around all of the parents and not just specifically Keely Hall's daughter.
It was maybe 3 or 4, wasn't it, that they focused?
Yeah, there was three families that they focused on, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And I think even the third family, which was the family story that I actually liked, which was Sarah, played by Hannah Taunton. I think even their storyline was quite reduced. You never actually got a full exploration. You just got to see them outside in the garden or outside at the school. You never got to go into the home and see what it was like in there and things like that. So I would have liked that. I would have liked to have followed more of the real estate lady, because all of the ones that you were shown were like a family unit. But you never got to see a full exploration of someone that was purely a single mother and was going this alone. So I would have liked a couple more episodes just so I could have had more story around everyone and not just the main 3 families.
Yeah, actually, I can see that. Like, you could have done something where it's like 10 episodes, and then each like half an episode follows like each. In the middle, half an episode follows like each family and how they are dealing with it differently. So yeah, I do think that, because there was a lot of kids, and then by the end, I thought like the amount of kids was reduced. Like, I feel like there was like so many of them at the beginning, and then there was only like. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was not very good at counting.
No, I think there was a lot more, because like that bus at the end was like half full of kids. But we still didn't even get introduced to that many parents. Like, these are the main kids here behind me, but there is more that weren't there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there was more they could have done with that, but it was still an excellent show, and I would still recommend it to anyone. So
yeah, I agree. Well, what would you? I was going to say, what would you rate it? But you just told me. Oh my god, maybe the kids had me, and now I've like forgotten the last.
Oh my god, they've got you.
I do love a good like blackout. Do you remember that show Flashpoint that was on in 2008 about when the whole world it was an American show. And everyone in the world lost consciousness for like 2 minutes, and it was about that anyway.
I didn't watch it.
Okay,
I'm very sorry, but thank you for watching, everyone. Yes. If you did enjoy our content, please do think about subscribing to us. We do have more content all of the time. We do also have a Twitter and Instagram, which is at the Horror Hour TV. We also have merch, which you can see here. I am wearing one. It is a t-shirt.
Thanks for the explanation. In case anyone
for our blind viewers. So yes, thank you for watching. Comment down below. Tell us if you've seen it, if you want to see it, what you think if you did see it, and as I said, interact with us on our socials. Goodbye.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.